What's going on, everyone? It is me, the Lone Vault Wanderer, and I'm here to talk about the Fallout 4 Nuka World official trailer. It dropped on us yesterday. In fact, I was awake when it dropped, and it was 12 AM after I got done with the Fallout New Orleans video that I did, which took a fucking bunch of effort. If you haven't seen that, check the description below, the link is there. And also as well, check the comment that I left on that video, because it does contain some important information about that trademark filing and the potential of it being fake. But now we're here to talk about Nuka World's official trailer. The question for today's video is, what most excited you from the Nuka World official trailer? Let me know in the comments below. And by the way, that trailer is linked in the description below. It's also located on the Bethesda Softworks YouTube channel. The very last DLC for Fallout 4. Unfortunately, it's coming to an end. But regardless, I just want to say that off the bat, this trailer was fucking hilarious. I'm going to try my best to have the music of the trailer running in the background of this particular video, because I thought it was just funny as fuck. And I just thought this trailer overall was really well put together. It gave us a great sense of the DLC. It looks like a lot of fun. Some people were complaining, but whatever. It just looks awesome, and I cannot wait to actually throw myself into it and play. And I just want to talk about my thoughts about the trailer, some of the things that I saw. I'm not going to be doing a full analysis per se, but I just want to be highlighting some of the things that were of particular note to me. First of all, the starting of the trailer had like a Mickey Mouse style Cappy mascot, which I just laughed at. You can clearly tell where the inspiration was from there. And then there was the Bottle mascot. So you got Cappy and Bottle, or Bottle and Cappy, and then you have the robotic versions of those mascots roaming around the Nuka World setting, which I think is just funny in and of itself, but that's just a very small thing that I liked. The first major thing that I want to point out is that this setting looks really, really interesting. I mean, it's an amusement park, so Bethesda essentially had kind of free reign in terms of the areas of this amusement park, what you could see, the things you can do. And some of the things that we saw in the trailer was like a Nuka-Cola fountain lake thing, a big castle in the background. Of course, we had a bunch of rides, which I'll get into. There were dead bodies and skeletons strewn around everywhere, especially there was a skeleton on a roller coaster that was kind of broken, which I thought was just funny and a bit of a joke. But a major thing that I want to point out is that this setting looks absolutely massive. It looks like there's so much to do and to see in the Nuka World amusement park, and apparently this DLC file size is actually bigger than Far Harbor, so it wouldn't surprise me that the setting of this Nuka World DLC is actually bigger than Far Harbor, although Bethesda hasn't made a big deal of it in terms of this being the biggest landmass DLC that they've ever done. So at least land-wise, it might not be as big as Nuka World, but seemingly there seems to be a lot of stuff to do and a lot of activities to complete, which is always good. The second most important thing about this DLC is that this is Raider territory. We knew that this is going to be a DLC about raiders and about you being able to be a raider and about you being introduced to this Nuka World setting that has been taken over by raiders, and you can see that clearly identified in this particular DLC. And the very last point that I'll make in this video touches on that, because it talks about an important aspect of raiding that was made very clear in the trailer, which I'm so excited for. Obviously throughout the DLC, you can play different amusement park activities. There was like basketball, a different form or variation of ice ball. There were shooting targets you could shoot, which for a while I can see as being a little bit of fun here and there just to kill or pass the time. Maybe it's going to be associated with some quests. Who really knows? And then you got a bunch of rides. As far as I saw, there was a Ferris wheel, many roller coasters in fact, a carousel, etc. So again, this is something that could pass the time, but I'm hoping there's a little bit more to it, because what I assume is that once you actually ride one of these particular rides, then the novelty would wear off quite quickly. It's not like in real life where you're actually having a lot of fun sitting in a roller coaster and going through it time and time and again. Because this is just a video game, once I've ridden a particular roller coaster, the second or third time after that just might not be fun. So hopefully there's some sort of interesting aspect with regards to that. We saw the Nuka-Cola power armor again. We obviously got that in the main game, so it's going to be cool at least to have this power armor that fits the theme of this particular DLC. Kitty Kingdom just looks fucking funny as all hell. When I read the description for that initially, I just kind of had a laugh to myself, and it seems like just to be a parody in and of itself. To be honest, this entire DLC and trailer is a parody in and of itself. Fallout has always had this kind of underlying comedy to it. point. The example that most people will bring up in that regard is Fallout 2. So this DLC just seems like it's meant to be a fun time, and it's not trying to take itself too seriously, even though there are serious undertones of raiders and raiding and slavery in this DLC, especially in the trailer. You can see that quite clearly. A thing that I wanted to point out is Dry Rock Gulch in the DLC. You can see it again in the trailer. It was also made mention in some of the descriptions provided on Steam, I believe. It kind of gave me a New Vegas feel, so I just wanted to say that maybe New Vegas fans, you'll like what you see in Dry Rock Gulch. It kind of has that country western style feel, and that's what I'm really liking about this particular DLC, or the setting of Nuka World, is that there are many different areas in the amusement park itself that each have a particular theme. So again, you've got Kitty Kingdom, and then you have Safari Adventure and Dry Rock Gulch. So again, each of those particular areas within the Nuka World amusement park has their own theme, which I think could make for some really interesting exploration and discovery. As far as I saw, there weren't many new enemies. I saw this Deathclaw crocodile fucking monstrosity of an enemy. I don't know whether that's new or something that you could already find in the base game. I'm going to assume that, since I never came across it, that this is just a new variation of a Deathclaw, and in the trailer you can see it found within Safari Adventure, so it kind of makes sense that it is a crocodile style variant of the Deathclaw. And of course you have the robots and mascots that are parading around the amusement park, and I'm going to presume that they're going to attack you on sight. We saw a couple of new weapons as well. The electrified paddle ball is probably the highlight of this particular trailer. That looks like it's going to be a ton of fun to actually use. And we actually have AK-47s. I don't know, again, is this just a variant of an existing gun in the base game of Fallout 4? I don't think so. This looks like a brand new AK-47 for our game that we can carry over to the main game as well. Quickly, there are more settlement items that you can use to build. I don't really care about that, to be honest, but I know that people do appreciate the ability to build new things, and it seems like Nuka World is really going to facilitate that. Now it comes to the two most important aspects that I saw from this particular DLC trailer, and these kind of align with what I was talking about in my past Fallout 4 Nuka World video, where I talked about the things that I wanted to be able to do in this particular DLC. And first of all, slave trading is going to be making a big mark in this DLC, seemingly anyways. If you go to the segment of the DLC where it talks about the world of refreshments, you can clearly see that there are slavers in this particular DLC, and who knows, maybe we can become a slaver ourselves. I know a couple of people mentioned that in the comments of my past video on Nuka World, that they wanted to become slavers, and that makes complete sense being a raider. You know, slavers and raiders go hand in hand. Raiders don't actually attack other slavers on site, so they seem to have similar interests in that sense. So being a DLC about raiders, effectively, it makes complete sense for slave trading to be a predominant part of this DLC. And if we are able to be slavers and sell and buy and use slaves, I think that would just be very interesting and match the particular raider style theme of this DLC. And that takes me to my second most important point of this video. We can raid other areas in the base game of Fallout 4, the wider Commonwealth, and the example that they showed in this trailer was Sanctuary. You saw in the trailer with your player holding the AK-47, which had like a gold skin, and raiding Sanctuary, essentially this area of the game that most people probably set up their very first settlement and populated with a bunch of people. Now, we're just gonna fucking raid it with a bunch of raiders, and then you saw that they kind of left their mark with a particular raider flag that they implanted into the ground, and then they set up observatory posts with raiders at the helm, guarding Sanctuary essentially. This is going to be so much fun if it's executed to its fullest extent. I want to be able to raid every other fucking settlement in the Commonwealth. I want to be able to attack any location, regardless of whether it's a settlement or whether it's a pre-established city, such as Diamond City. I don't care what the particular location is. From what I saw in this particular trailer, we can raid with a bunch of other raiders, other locations in the Commonwealth, and I hope that we can just have a bunch of fun doing so, raiding wherever we want, have raiders slowly take over the wider Commonwealth. It's going to be an absolute blast. I cannot fucking wait for that particular aspect. Again, that's what I kind of touched on in my last Nuka World video. That ability to say, fuck it, I'm a raider. I'm gonna go around and fucking kill people, steal their shit, mark my territory, and set up raider settlements throughout the Commonwealth. Heck, let me set up slaver encampments throughout the Commonwealth. Let me start slaver trading throughout the fucking Commonwealth. I'm probably stretching it a little bit now, but those were two of the most important things that I saw from this particular trailer, and I cannot wait to have a bunch of fun being a raider in Nuka World. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this particular trailer for Nuka World. Are you excited? Do you have your reservations? Let me know. And until next time, this has been the Lone Vault Wanderer. Please take care of yourself, and as always, keep fighting the good fight.
Welcome to Nuka World, America's favorite vacation destination. I'm Cappy. Oh, and I'm Bottle. And we're here to make sure you have FUN fun during your time at the park.
What if there was a place with all the zip of Nuka-Cola? Wouldn't that be the cheeriest place in all the world? Where the river's made of quantum and the mountaintops are fizz, with fun and games and rides for all the moms and pops and kids. But it turns out there's a place with all the zip of Nuka-Cola. Come on down to Nuka World and see it for yourself.
Kingdoms, lots of fun for Ty, you and me.
Safari adventures full of animals to see.
Blast off to galactic zone for otherworldly thrills. Down in dry rock cultures, cola, them more hills.
The world of refreshments, the most wonderful place. The friendly streets of Nuka Town put a smile on your face. Now you know there's a place that's just as great as Nuka-Cola. Come on down to Nuka World and see it for yourself. A vacation that refreshes, a trip you won't forget. A park with every minimum acceptable safety standard. Quench your thirst for adventure and new